I start working with the salespeople, I'm going to talk kind of this morning on the webinar primarily about interactions that take place inside of your dealership. Again, I train salespeople to be outside salespeople and how to deal with phone calls and texts and web leads and things like this. But we're going to focus this morning on just people physically walking into your dealership and how do you take that person and move them in your direction. Well, the first thing, again, we have to understand is that most of what we have to do as a salesperson is read the prospect. Read them. The first thing I teach salespeople to do in a retail setting is not walk up to people and say, hi, my name is, are you here to buy a tractor? Are you here to do that? I don't want you to do that. The first thing I want you to do is when a person's walking in and you notice them walking in, look at the pace that they're walking in. If they're walking in quickly, that's going to tell you they're probably in a position where they're going to make a quicker decision. If they're walking in slower, then that's telling you that they're probably going to be in a position that they're going to make a little bit slower decision. We have 4 basic buying styles: drivers, influencers, steadies, and thinkers. And I tell salespeople, you have to understand that each buying style actually physically does things in a different way. And by learning how to read a person's body, their eyes, their facial expressions, their mouth, smile or lack of smile, physical body movements, if you just learn a little bit about that, you'll immediately know what buying style you're working with, and each buying style buys at a different pace. Drivers and influencers buy quickly. Steadies and thinkers tend to buy more slowly, make more slow decisions as we go through it. So the first thing I try to do is, as somebody's walking in, is to physically see how they're moving. If they're moving fast, I know I probably got a driver or an influencer. If they're moving a little slower, I probably have a steady or a thinker. Now, again, I haven't interacted with them. I'm just physically watching them move. Once they walk in the door, then I'm going to look at their face. And the face is going to tell you a lot about what you're going to do at that next step. Our primary goal here is to get people to like and trust us. And so their facial expression is going to tell me something. Now, the first thing I do is look at their eyebrows. So I want you to think, and I know this sounds a little bit strange, but trust me on this. Look at their eyebrows. When they walk in, are their eyebrows up or are their eyebrows down? If their eyebrows are up, that tells you that mentally they're open to interact with you. They are comfortable enough to start interacting with you. If their eyebrows are down, that tells you that they're closed off. They want to be left alone a little bit. So the first thing I'm looking for, again, is when they come in, I've tried to see how they move. That's going to give me a little bit of indication of their buying style: driver, influence, steady, or thinker. But then the eyebrows are going to tell me, are they ready to be interacted with, or do I need to interact with them in a way that lets them feel safe and comfortable? So let's start off with the eyebrows up. I tell people, if you walk in, if somebody's walking in and you notice that their eyebrows are up, that tells you that they're comfortable, open-minded, comfortable, and ready to be interacted with. So at that point, if you walked in and I said, and walked up, I would walk up to you. I'd stay probably 8 to 10 feet away. I want to stay out of your personal zone at that point. You don't know me. I definitely would not put my hand out to shake hands. 60% of the people do not like to be physically touched by someone they've never met before. And I know people that train salespeople say, oh, you got to reach out and give everybody a big, firm handshake, show them you're in control. The last thing you want this person to feel like is you're trying to control them. That's what a salesperson would do. So I tell people, again, we're going to react to how the customer is acting toward us. I'm going to become a mere reflection of that customer. If they're walking in slow, I'm going to approach them slow. If they're walking in quick, I'm going to approach them a little quicker, because again, people like people who are like themselves. And again, my goal is not to ever make the customer feel like I'm doing something to control or manipulate them, because the moment I do, they go, oh, thanks for reminding me, Bob, you're a salesperson. Guard goes up, wall goes up, and now you got another battle to deal with. So again, the facial expressions are there. Eyebrows are up, mind is open, I'm comfortable interacting. Eyebrows are down, I'm not comfortable, I want to be left alone for a little bit. So let's start with the eyebrows up. So if we walk in and the person's eyebrows are up when they walk in, I would go, if it were me, I would walk up to them and say, hi, my name is Bob Clements. Always introduce yourself. Always introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Bob Clements and I work here. Now, they may or may not know that, but again, it gives them a sense of comfort to know who you are. Hi, my name is Bob Clements and I work here. My next question is, so what brought you in today? So what brought you in today? Now, that's what we call a sense-neutral question. What that means is, I'm not saying, what are you looking for today? What have you guys been talking about doing today? What do you feel like you want to do today? Because now I'm guiding their senses. And what I want to do is figure out, do I need to show them things, tell them things, or let them experience things? As a part of this very first contact, I'm going to find out if you're a visual buyer, an auditory buyer, or a kinesthetic buyer. So we have 4 different buying styles, and then inside of those, we have different ways that people process information. And I'm going to get all of this by just watching your eyes and your eyebrows the instant I interact with you. So if the eyebrows are up, I'm going to say, hi, my name is Bob Clements. I work here. So what brought you in today? Now, at that moment, I'm looking at your eye movement. And I ask that question, and if you look up, if your eyes go up when I ask that question, I know you're a visual processor. You're a person that understands things by looking at things. If I ask that question, so what brought you in today, and your eyes go literally travel to your ears, you look left or right, I know you're an auditory processor. And if I ask that question and you look down, and then you come back up, I know you're a person that wants to get their hands on things. You're what we call a kinesthetic processor. So by asking that very first question, so what brought you in today, I'm going to, number one, find out if you're visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. And then it's going to help me as I'm going through my process of doing a walk around to give you the information the right way. So that's if their eyebrows are up. I know that they're comfortable enough to start interacting with me. If they walk in and their eyebrows are down, and I notice their eyebrows are down, I'm still going to walk up to them and I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to say, hi, my name is Bob Clements. I work here. But instead of saying what brought you in today, I'm going to go, if you have any questions or need anything, just let me know. I'll be right over there. Now notice I didn't engage them. I just simply walked up and said, hi, my name is Bob Clements. I work here. If you have any questions or you need anything at all, just let me know. I'll be right over there. Then I pause for just a moment. And if they say, okay, then I just move on and leave them alone, because my primary goal is to give them an opportunity to get comfortable. You're not going to trust me until I let you have a moment to get comfortable. Now, sometimes when you do that, you'll notice that the moment you say, if you need anything or have any questions, let me know, because you didn't come across like a salesperson, you didn't act like a salesperson, many times they will all of a sudden move their eyebrows up, and at that moment, they will start engaging you. But that's the first thing I do in sales. I don't do anything other than I'm looking at how they're moving. So I'm going to determine again kind of what their buying style is, and then I'm looking for their language style. So what brought you in today? That's what we call a sense neutral question. If I ask that question and they look up, I know they're visual. If they look to their ears, I know they're auditory. And if they look down, I know they're kinesthetic. So if I say, so what brought you in today? And this person says, my wife and I are looking to replace our, let's just do a tractor for right now. We're looking to replace our tractor. So the moment you said we're looking to replace our tractor, I would have noticed that your eyes went up. They may have looked up to your left. They may have looked up to your right. I don't have time in this webinar to get into it, but I can also tell when you're lying or telling the truth by which ways your eyes move. Okay, so at this point, love, they looked up and they said, hey, we're looking to replace a tractor. I now know this is a person that is a visual person, and the first thing we're going to want to do is not sit down and have a conversation. We're going to say, well, let's just get outside, let's walk around, and let's take a look at what we have. And then as we're doing that and walking around, I'm going to get into my discovery process, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But I want you to understand that. That's the most important part. The first thing we have to do in the contact is to get them to a point where they like and trust us enough where they'll start giving us that all important information. So from there, if they trust us and we're moving on with it, right, then we're going to do it. Now let's go back to the thing where maybe the person's eyebrows didn't come up instantly, and so I left them alone. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm kind of watching them as they move around. And let's say then they go outside to your lot, and let's just keep using the tractor as an example here for this particular webinar, but it could be on anything. Like I say, it could be an excavator, a tractor, it doesn't matter what it is. A piece of equipment is a piece of equipment in sales, right? So they go out, and the next thing I know that they're leaning next to this tractor, right? Then at that point, when somebody's leaning on something, I now know that they're comfortable. I could walk up to them at that point, lean on another tractor. I'm going to become a mirror image of them. This is how you build rapport with people quickly. I'm going to do the same thing. This is called mirroring and matching in the world of sales. I'm going to become like them. And then I'm going to say, so what do so what brought you in today? Even if they're leaning on a tractor, I'm not going to say, are you looking for a tractor? I'm going to say, so what brought you in today? At that point, they're leaning. I know they're comfortable. If I walk up there, I'll see their eyebrows are up. And then I can get and find out if they're visual, auditory, or kinesthetic by asking that particular question. So again, what we're looking for is facial expressions and body movement as I'm working with people. And again, I know a lot of salespeople have not been trained on those things, but those are keys to making this whole thing work, right? Selling is not about what comes out of your mouth. Understand that only 7% of all the communication that happens between two people happen because of the words you say. 38% is because of the tone and pace of your voice. 55% of all of our communication happens because of a thing called physiology, how my body interacts with your body. And that's one of the things that I find that a lot of salespeople have never really been trained on. They've been trained to what to say, but keep in mind, only 7% of the words you say have an impact on the person you're saying to. It's not what you say or how you say it, but it's more how your body is interacting with that person as a part of it. So that's the first step, the first part of the sales process. It's the contact. Whether you do it by phone or web or text or whatever, we have to do it. And our primary goal in the very first step is just to get the person comfortable enough that they will trust us.